And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes for us from, I actually can't say, not because I don't know who gave it to me, but because I don't know. Basically, whoever gave me this one is Asian Asian. I don't know the kanji exactly. Be it Korean, Chinese, Japanese. I don't know the kanji, but yeah, it's in the kanji, so I can't actually say the name of it. But Kanjin! That is from Kanjin. Who asked the question? Now, I have done Broly versus Thanos before, but this was under the idea that we were going to look at mostly just base Thanos, and we were looking at Dragon Ball Z movie Broly. However, we have now, this one was specifically asked who would fight Broly, which we now have the Dragon Ball Super Broly, who is much more powerful than Dragon Ball Z Broly, and Thanos specifically with the Infinity Gauntlet. So, let's just talk about Thanos briefly, real quick. We already know about him. He's an Eternal, but he's got a deviant gene. He's basically a mutant. He's extremely powerful, capable of going toe-to-toe with some of the heaviest hitters in the Marvel Universe. Is genius, highly durable, can survive being in a black hole. He survives the stomach acid of ego. Insanely strong, can go toe-to-toe with the Hulk. He's actually well-versed in magic, science. He can absorb cosmic energy to use cosmic blasts. He has mental manipulation as well. But all of that is not really the point here. It's just stuff he has in his arsenal. With the Infinity Gauntlet, he literally has the power of the universe in his hand, or in his fist, if you will. With each of the stones specifically, he can do multiple things. With the Space Stone, he can basically warp space itself, create portals. He can move at extreme speeds. He can basically he can manipulate space itself in the sense that you might move and you just keep moving like in a loop forever. Like there's a lot you can do with space. If you're moving, he can just stop your movement because he's controlling space. With the time stone, he's manipulating time. You can just rewind, pause, back, all that, age something, make something grow old. There's that as well. Then you have the reality stone, which literally controls the fabric of reality. Whatever you really want to do, you can do. It's that kind of known as the Wish Stone. The Power Stone contains all the power that exists within the universe that has ever existed, does exist, and will ever exist. So energy of any kind can be produced. The Mind Stone can manipulate, read minds, control minds, project illusions. You name it, it can do that. Power, time, space, reality, mind. And the Soul Stone is actually the only sentient stone of the group. It's basically capable of manipulating souls, stealing souls, collecting souls, releasing souls. It is definitely one of the most unique, one of the more unique ones of the group. So, with all of them together, Thanos literally was able to do just about anything. The only things in the Marvel Universe, in the Marvel Universe, not outside the Marvel Universe like the Beyonders, that are stronger, technically speaking. You know what I mean by that. The Beyonders are actually a very weird case. It's debatable whether or not they are stronger than the Infinity Stones as a gauntlet. Individually, they are, but stronger than any individual stone, yes. Stronger than the full assembled gauntlet, that's debatable. But only beings that we've ever really seen go toe to toe with them within that respective universe is we know the Living Tribunal is at least equal to the Infinity Gauntlet, possibly even stronger. And we know the one above all is stronger than the Infinity Gauntlet. So, that said, we know Broly's story already. He was abandoned as a kid, sent off to Vampa, basically, a no-name planet. And his father went to save him, found him. They were there for, how long were they there for? Goku was barely, a year old at that point, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2. And we factor in Goku's now about in his 40s, maybe 50s. So, God, they were there for 40 years. Wow. Roughly. And that time, he grew stronger through, fighting the wildlife. Broly, though, they sent him off because they were scared of Broly, because Broly is a mutation. There is something different about Broly's genetics that allow him to have just this great power. Even in his base form, he was able to go toe-to-toe with Vegeta and Goku at Super Saiyan when these two had already, absorbed the Super Saiyan God into their base form. And that's Broly in base. Broly learns as he fights. When he went into his Akari Rage form, he was able to go toe-to-toe with them in Super Saiyan God form, which is already stronger than the God form we see in Battle of Gods. And then, going to Super Saiyan Blue, they actually couldn't match him in Super Saiyan. His Super Saiyan, mind you, was piled on top of Akari, so it makes sense why they actually couldn't take him on. But there's Super Saiyan Blue, which is a universal level of power they reached. Super Saiyan God alone was a universal level of power. And Broly was still able to outmatch them. Ultimately, he went full on Super Saiyan Berserk or Legendary Super Saiyan form against Gogeta, where he and Gogeta literally broke the fabric of reality just by fighting. No technique or anything, on sheer power alone, they broke reality. Broly has several attacks. I can't remember the name of it. It's the one where he throws the ball and it just grows. I think it's just a death ball or something like that. What it's called. He can fire an energy blast out of his mouth. He can fly, create energy fields and auras. But the only catch is that his body can only handle so much of his power. So he can only do so much before he runs out of power and is done. But in that time, he is one of the strongest individuals in the Dragon Ball Z universe. So these two meet in a fight. How does it break down? Let's actually go all the way to the end of the fight, because that's where I think a lot of people want the answer. But the true answer is something a bit unfortunate. So these two meet in a fight. Thanos has been enjoying toying with Broly. Broly has gone all the way now to Super Saiyan, Legendary Super Saiyan, and they're clashing. And Thanos is, is clashing with him, and they're breaking reality as it is. And, if Broly's throwing energy blasts, all that, Thanos is, just using the Gauntlet to just turn him into nothing or absorbing them. The ultimate problem here in this fight is that, A, Broly's on a time limit. And B, it doesn't really matter. Yes, his power is strong enough to break the fabric of reality itself, but Thanos already has just one stone that can do that, because all the other stones are now can power all those. The Infinity Gauntlet basically is the superconductive utility item that allows you to use the stones at their full capacity. So, and all the stones are enhanced once you have all the other stones. So the reality stone, just using that on its own, is far stronger at its strongest when you have all the other stones. Using basically all the stones together, you can do anything, basically. Yeah, if Thanos wanted to destroy the fabric of reality, he could. When Broly does that, Thanos kind of just, counters that a little bit. And he might be saying, well, wait a minute, he broke reality. And the Infinity Stones only work within their reality, right? Their universe. Technically, yes, but he's not out. He's not in a different dimension or universe. He's still technically in there, and Broly and Thanos still has the gauntlet. So even if he can sense the power coming out, he can just stop that power output immediately. Honestly. He can honestly just turn Broly to glass. He can just turn him into stone, drain all his power into nothing if he wants, if he truly wants. But let's, for a hypothetical, say that once that reality is temporarily shattered, because it was temporary, it wasn't a long-lasting destruction. Thanos' gauntlet doesn't work for a spell, and Thanos realized this. So now Thanos and Broly actually have to clash on their own. Well, in that scenario, yeah, Broly actually does seem to have the greater level of power output. Thanos, though, has been able to survive a lot, and I think he would be able to outlast Broly long enough for the reality to reset and the gauntlet to work again, healing himself, and ultimately taking out Broly. But I start with Legendary Super Saiyan because, honestly, this fight's going to be over very early. If Thanos at any point thinks that Broly is a serious threat, he is just going to dust him. He's just going to turn him to stone. He's going to waste him. He's just going to waste him. And that's just due to the fact that Broly takes so much time to get to that level of power that there's no realistic way he gets to Legendary Super Saiyan in this fight. Thanos is going to end him long before that happens. Most likely, once he goes into like Akari, because at first Thanos is just going to probably toy with him admittedly. Once he goes into Akari, or God forbid Super Saiyan, no, then Thanos is just like, yeah, no, boop, it's just, And unfortunately, even though he has so much power, There's nothing to say Broly could survive the effects of the Gauntlet just snapping, erasing his existence. So, yeah, this isn't like a Zeno who does exist with outside the universe and could theoretically just wipe Thanos out even with the Gauntlet in one instant. Like, Zeno, I actually think very much scales beyond the Infinity Gauntlet because he just exists outside dimensions and he can also just wipe out a multiverse without any difficulty. He can just systematically destroy universes and therefore destroy an entire timeline and multiverse if he wants. So, yeah, and Thanos can't scale that. Now, that being said, if Zeno were in the Marvel Universe, just showed up, would the Infinity Gauntlet work on him? I mean, here's the thing. As long as Zeno is outside the universe, he would win that fight in a minute. But if he's in the universe, and Thanos, activates the Gauntlet quickly, especially without Zeno paying attention, maybe? But that's assuming that this power, again, is not superseded. So anyway, I digress. Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet does breed Super Saiyan, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly from Dragon Ball Super, in my opinion. But maybe you disagree, and if you do, that's cool. Put in the comments below, let me know why. But until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified, and I'll see you folks later.